Well, good morning. It's just gone 8:30 in the morning on Monday, the 10th of June. So this morning, what am I going to be talking about? That's a very good point. What I tend to find is that when I've been away from work for a few days, I find that my in-tray builds up and my thoughts about work build up quite considerably. And therefore, as I try and make sense of the noise that I have going on in my head, I sometimes get a bit overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed by those noises. I get overwhelmed by what should I be doing with that. So this morning I thought I'd share with you a technique that I've used, which really does help with that particular thinking. Um, the props that you need are really straightforward. I have a box of paper. Okay, so you can see here there's quite a few just sheets of, what's that, 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters paper. Could be 12 by 12 or 4 by 4 inch if you like me and can remember the old days. But these are the great prompt. And I've also got a big pen. Okay, a big pen to actually just write things. I like big pens because they remind me of crayons when I was younger, and those crayons are just a bit of playtime. So, what's the method that I'm going to be using? I've got lots of stuff going through my mind, and I've got lots of pieces of paper. So in this very short webinar this morning, I'm going to introduce you to a model. And it's very simple. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Think about Pomodoro timers and stuff like that. Work really well here. And then just write one idea, one thought, one challenge per piece of paper for 25 minutes. Just keep going. Okay? And this can be incredibly liberating, incredibly powerful as you think. So, for example, I'm just going to write down a few. Okay, I've got my emails to look at. Okay, I'll just put that on my desk in front of me. I've got to look at my calendar for the week because I was out last week. I slightly out of touch with what's going on with my calendar. I need to catch up with my PA as well, so that's going to happen. So PA is there. What else? Yes. I'm not sure about whether I'm going to put this in, but I'm going to put in LinkedIn there as well. Why am I putting LinkedIn? Because I need to have some presence of LinkedIn, don't I? And the other social media things. Please note that what I'm doing is I'm staying at quite a high level. I'm not going to detail, and I'm not trying to solve those particular problems, okay? I'm not trying to solve those problems. So that's key critical at this stage, okay? What about some other things? Yes. I need to write some blogs, and there's some reflection. Okay, so we've got some other ideas there. So I've got 6 ideas on my desk in front of me right now. So 6 very specific ideas. Now, if you now fast forward 25 minutes, when I did this exercise a few weeks ago, I had about 70 pieces of paper in front of me where I just basically just got just get everything down onto a particular individual piece of paper. What do I do with them then? Well, I now just do a short filter on them. I'm looking at them and thinking, okay, so where are the similarities here? So maybe emails and calendar, because I use Microsoft Outlook, they're both in the same place. So I'm going to put them in the same pile as each other. PA, I need to catch up with regards to calendar, so that's loosely related to calendar. Blogs and LinkedIn, this is about creativity, so I'm going to put those two together, okay? And reflections, this is something that I need to build some time into my diary. So these are sort of calendarish type ideas. So you can see now that I can build up a mind map of roughly what's happening. And with the 70 that I did the other day, I did take those into Simple Minds, which I use as a mind mapping tool, and build out similarities. Now, if we think of the process so far, we've brain dumped onto pieces of paper, we've then collected them together. The thing that's missing is the how, okay? And this is where we need to be thinking about maybe different techniques, different tactics that you want to adopt, and indeed different timetables that you want to work with. So if I now think about the how, and I'm just picking one at random here. If I think about reflection, how do I reflect? okay, I know that I probably need a few hours a week to reflect. Probably 20 minutes a day is good. It's a luxury actually if we can get 20 minutes a day to reflect. But that means then I need to schedule that reflection time into my calendar. Now, how do I do that? Do I do that electronically? Some people do. So it could be using OneNote directly into this, which is something I'm trying out at the moment. Or it could be that I need to write it. So what do I need? Where do I need to be? Um, so I need to be in somewhere that's quiet. It could be that I reflect first thing in the morning or last thing at night. And I think about those different things that I need to do. So the reflection piece is quite easy. Um, to be honest, I'm actually a pen and paper person. So I'll reflect into a notebook and those thoughts will then probably not get read again, but it's that processing that we go through. Yeah? Other things can be more involved. So when I'm thinking about LinkedIn and blogs, I need the ideas. Okay, so this needs a bit of creativity and a creation process to link in here. If we can start thinking about that, then we can start saying, okay, if I look at LinkedIn as specifically, what is my schedule going to be now for the next 4 weeks? Oh, 4 weeks, what's that? Okay, we need to generate ideas. How do I generate ideas? What's going through my mind? What have I seen over the weekend? What have I seen last week? Which triggers the thought. And I typically use Notion as a small database collection thing. So whenever I come up with an idea, I drop it into that and then I review it. And then I have some ideas that I can drop onto LinkedIn or into the blogs. The challenge then is time. How do I do time? I link it into the calendar and say, okay, I need some creativity time. Creativity time I do at a certain time of day, typically 11 till 12:30ish. That's when my brain works best at creativity. And if I understand that, then I've got a time that I can schedule. So you can see here that that has a direct link to how my calendar works. Now, in that very quick 7 minutes, I've given you a method that you can use that you can then take forward. Next week, I'm going to be looking at a tool that I use called Use Motion. It's something I started using about 2 months ago, and it really is starting to change the way that I schedule and prioritise things. Hope you've enjoyed today. Hope you've enjoyed the very, very quick interlude into the way my brain works, and lots of notes and lots of big pens. And I will see you again this time next week.